Hello, 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 and welcome back to LaserBeam Live. This is episode number 42. I can't believe we made it this far. Number 42, almost a year and a half, past a year and a half. We're almost at 2 years at this point. What are we doing today? Actually, first, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go through the chat. Dana from Bucky's Customs, always in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Michael Builds, this is the first time I think I'm seeing you in the chat. You got a fancy little check mark, which means you got a lot of subscribers. Go check out his YouTube channel. I'm sure he's a builder and maker of sorts if he's in this live stream right now. Jack in the Shop, our resident laser demon. Let's go. Nicholas, thank you for joining us. Thank you. Doug E, thank you for joining us. And thank you for the reminder. Everybody, go like the like button. Go like the like button. He said go pound the like button, but I was trying to avoid using the word pound, okay? But, you know, I already used it. So do what Doug says. Smash the like button, hit the like button, pound the like. I don't care what you do. Just tap the little button. Make sure it lights up blue. Thank you very much. Good evening. Barry, thank you for joining us. Good evening, good evening, good evening. What are we doing today? Something very simple. We are doing this era of the LaserBeam Lives are very simple projects. We are just testing out different materials, different stuff, freestyling, and today we are doing a leather bracelet. Now, the form factor of the leather doesn't actually matter to me. I would never wear a leather bracelet, at least at my very young age. This is just not hitting right, you know? A leather bracelet is just not it, okay? In my era. But if this is your style, I'm not knocking you, okay? I'm not knocking your style, but I just wanted something leather because I've never engraved leather on this live stream. So today, I thought it would be a cool idea to engrave some leather, which is very exciting. I'm excited to do this stuff. So this is just a small little form factor where I can test it. And one thing I'm going to tell you, two things I'm going to tell you guys right now. Two things. First of all, when you engrave leather, it smells. There's just no way around it. Maybe there's a type of leather out there that doesn't smell, but every type of leather I've engraved, it smells bad, okay? Second, make sure you're only engraving genuine leather, okay? If it's not genuine leather, you don't know what is in it. You don't know what chemicals you're actually engraving, okay? So be careful. Make sure you're engraving this raw, this untreated or low-level treatment, genuine leather. Make sure you are staying safe. Okay, Michael Builds loves leather bracelets. I was not trying to knock your guys' style. Okay, if you like them, that's cool. Okay, you know, but I feel like this is like a 40s thing. You know, once I'm in my 40s, I'll start rocking the leather bracelets. You know, like get the leather bracelet to match the leather sandals. Okay, I feel like that's big 40 vibes. Am I wrong here? Come on. Okay. We got this because I got this really light color because I wanted to see the contrast of the actual burn, but I also got these darker ones. So we can probably pick two colors and we'll figure something out and we'll engrave them and see how they look. I don't even know. They could look horrible, okay? Obviously the quality of the leather is gonna matter. Obviously the settings that we choose is gonna matter, but I'm excited to try things out. And yeah, Michael Builds is 44, so I got him, see? It's a big 40 vibe, but that's not a bad thing. That could be a good thing. You gotta love every era of life that you are in, okay? Just a tattoo on my wrist. It's not a bracelet. You guys are funny. Nicholas asked, is it gonna be the G2 lens or the other one? Okay, I totally forgot that I was supposed to do the 3-element lens today, but I do have them. So, hold up. I will install the 3-element, okay? And I know Dana sent me some settings. I've just, I haven't actually taken a look at them. So, all right. I got a focus ring here. I think I had one. I swear I brought a whole pack of lenses home. All right, I'm having a hard time finding them. I know they're here. I just don't know where I put them. Ah, here they are. So I got a 13 mil spring I got an extra focus finder. I got a G7. I got a G7 lens. I got a 7mm lens. Okay. Okay. Guys, might have some bad news. Okay, I might have screwed up here. I only have a G7 lens. I don't think I have a 3-element lens here. I swear I packed it, guys. I'm very sorry. No. I have like 100 little tiny parts in my bag. All right, guys. We might just have to do the G2, or the G7, sorry. Yeah, you know what? I'm blaming it on the dog. My dog ate my 3-element lens. It's not my fault, guys. I swear I had it, though. I brought home every version of the lens. I brought every size of the spring because just in case. Didn't know which one I wanted to run, and I brought an extra focus ring so I don't have to switch out my focus rings. I could just put one on each new lens that I'm using. I'm gonna keep that right there, but because I promised a 3-element, I'm just gonna give it another couple minutes. I'm gonna search. I wanna be 100% sure that I didn't bring it home before I commit to the G7. I feel like the G7 is still pretty similar to the G2. Here's my box of randomness: vinyl or veneer, glue, hot glue. We got acrylic. We got tile. We got all sorts of stuff here. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Zeus. My dog Zeus is trying to figure out what's happening here. All he knows is that there's something interesting in this area over here. So he's sniffing around, he's helping me. But not really. All right, I don't think it's in here, all right? All right, here's another random box of laser stuff. We got extra wires. We got filters for the fans. We got some Velcro. No 3-element lens here. Yeah. You don't know what I'm gonna get here. All right, if I can't find a 3-element, we'll do it next time. I do apologize. I'll give my bag one last quick search. So I remember throwing a whole bunch of accessories in here. We have some opaque black acrylic, some 3mm birch to make into a coaster, okay? But do we have a 3-element lens? That is the real question. I'm only searching for 2 more minutes because I want to just get started. Regardless of the lens, worst case, we will be working with the G7, okay? All right, today we're working with the G7, but next time we will get the 3-element. Bear with me. Larry took it. Who is Larry? Who took my lens? All right, guys, I'll just take you guys through it. The notch always goes into your focus finder on a lens. Why? The logic behind it is if you were to unthread this focus finder and your lens was still in your laser, you could use a flathead screwdriver in the notches to unscrew your lens. So when if you forget which way the lens actually goes into the focus finder, always think, if I were to unscrew this focus finder, how would I get this lens out? Oh, you would need the notches, a flathead screwdriver to screw it out. So keep that in mind. So I'm just gonna put that in. And guys, the G7 and the G8, they focus very near the ends of your threading on the actual laser. So what I do, which is why we gave you so many different types of springs, is what you can do is you can either stack your springs. So I take two 13 mil springs and I stack them, right? Or you can interlock them, which gives you that extra tension, pushing on the lens, making sure that doesn't fall out if your job is moving really quickly because you don't have that much threading. So on the let me look at the bag. G7, this is a G7 lens. We need it at a 83 mil to 85 mil focus length. So I'm gonna switch over here to the second camera. So 83 to 85 mil focus length. You can use your G7 focus finder. I'm just gonna use my little tape measure. And I have a G2 lens in there and a spring. So I'm just gonna remove this. All right, and the spring came out with it. This is my G2 and my spring. Now I'm taking my G7 and my two springs stacked into each other to give me that extra tension, make sure my G7 doesn't fall out. Or I'm actually gonna raise my Z just so it's easier to get it in there. Right now I have it focused for the G2, so it's around 31, 32 millimeters off the material height. So if I want to go into the G7 range, I have to add about 51 or 52 mil. So I can just type in 51 into the Z move and then press Z up once. Now I'm in my range for the G7. And now I have more room. Now I can put my spring and my lens in. So let's do that. So spring goes in first. Pushing against the spring. Oh, it's much easier with two hands, but I'm gonna see if I can do it with one. So I'm like fighting against the spring. Oh. I'm fighting against the tension of the spring, and then once I catch a thread, then I should be all good. I don't have to thread it a lot of times, only like once or twice. I'm gonna try to use two hands here. Oh, there we go. Just trying to align the bottom of my lens to the spring. And get 1-2 turns. That should be enough, but I'm gonna put some waste material underneath it. And let's go ahead and fire this at 1%. And it looks like we're pretty much in focus. Yeah, we're like very in focus right now, so that's good. Looks good. Height's all good. We have our G7. So if you're using the 3 element, follow the same workflow, and all your G7, your G8, and your 3 element are all gonna give you more detail than the G2. The G2 just so happens to be the most efficient, so you're getting the most power. The 3 element is gonna have the most fine lines with the least amount of efficiency. So you're trading power for fineness of the line, fineness of the dot, fineness of your focus. And then G8, G7 and G8 are pretty much just the middle ground between your G2 power and your 3 element detail. So I just installed the G7, but if you're installing the G8, just follow the same protocol. Just use the focus lengths. Use your focus finder that came with your laser. We have the focus length printed on your actual lens, and we have it on our resources. So if you ever need to know, you can find that information. Measure it from the bottom of the aluminum and get it all done. Use your springs to make sure that nothing comes out of whack. Even when I'm using my G2, I still use my springs, because if you run it fast enough and your threads are loose enough, you can actually unfocus your lens by running a project. So lens is all installed. Okay, let's take a break from laser and let's jump into something very, 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 very exciting that happened this week. The alt mill launch. Guys, if you've been following us for quite a little bit, we told you guys that we are going to be releasing a lot of new projects this year. And so far, we've opened up the year with SLB pre-orders. And now, Andy, our CEO, our lead designer, lead engineer, Daniel, and the rest of the alt mill team, the rest of the CNC team has been working very, 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 very hard on getting the pre-orders ready for the alt mill 48 by 48. You guys said you hate V wheels. You guys said more powerful, motors. You guys said spindle. You guys said ball screws. You guys said linear guides. You guys wanted it all. Well, this is like the all-in machine. And if I do say so myself, we brought this thing in at an amazing price. When you look at all the competitors, not just the CNC competitors that could compare to the long mill, but the prosumer models for a CNC, I think we blow them out of the water because we match or we exceed their, most of these companies, we exceed their pro model in terms of specs, but we either match their specs and we destroy them in price, or we exceed their specs and we destroy them in price. So guys, this is a very exciting moment for CNC Labs. This is the next step in terms of CNC routing, in terms of what we are going to be selling. And this is pointed towards our more prosumers or our long mill users who wanted to upgrade, who maxed out the long mill and the capabilities of the long mill and wanted an upgrade. And guys, this thing is like 4 times faster than the long mill. So, and it will be compatible with your laser. So although we are working on a CO2 laser and releasing that, if you are just like, oh, I just don't need a CO2 laser, it's not my thing, but I really want the alt mill, well, and you already have a laser, or now it's becoming more feasible, you can now run your laser jobs 4 times faster, right? So keep that in mind. But guys, look at this price, almost just under $3,000 USD, just under $4,000 Canadian. You get this 4x4. It comes with the entire machine, and then you can get the legs are actually included, guys. So this will bolt right into the extrusion, and you can just add some 2x4s, get a little shelf going on there. You can customize it, has holes all up and down. You can do custom shelves, all that fun stuff. Now, you're not just building your machine and having to build a table. Now the legs come included. Now you're building the machine and the table all in one. And we're selling a spindle and dust shoe kit to go along with it. $515 USD, $690 Canadian. Come on, where are you getting these specs, this control, like this level of quality at this price? I sound like an infomercial salesman, but that's all right. I will stand by it because we stand by this product. It is very exciting. It is another leap in the industry for us, another leap in our product development, and we're all very excited. So if you haven't, you've been living under a rock, or maybe this is the first time you're hearing about it, check out cnclabs.com/product/altmill and check out all the details. I'm not here to sell you. You know what you need. I'm just here to show you what we're working on, and if you want it, it's here. The pre-orders are here. Place an order. You know us. Whenever we list something for pre-order, we always deliver. You know our warranty is great. You know our customer service is great. It will not change for the alt mill. We will be shipping, I think, the first 50 around May, June, into July. But wait, there's more. No, that's it. That's pretty much it. You guys know the deal. We have a bunch of videos on our YouTube, Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, whatever. You guys know the spiel. Okay. I'm done sailing. Okay, back to the project. Actually, no, that's a lie. Let's talk about CO2 laser. So I'm very excited. Doug E, no, it will not. Actually, Doug, we're working on the MK 2.5, which is a lot of the upgrades have already been implemented. So stronger Acme nuts, bigger and stronger couplers. We did the injection molded middle feet. We have the SLB that's compatible with the MK2. There's a bunch of upgrades that we've been slowly releasing over the past little bit. And at this point, we're probably going to shift the MK2 to the MK2.5 because of all these upgrades. Chris, our CTO, is very, very passionate and adamant about keeping the long mill development going because it is the hobbyist, the most accessible version of the CNC. So we do not plan on making it obsolete. We do plan on continuing to upgrade it and continue like the spring-loaded anti-backlash nuts. We want to continue to improve these things and release more add-ons to make your machine as high in quality as you want it to be. So if you want certain specs, hopefully we'll slowly start to release upgrades that get you the specs that you want out of your long mill. But at a certain point, you do have to just redesign the form factor if you want to leapfrog to the next echelon of machine specs. So that's what we did with the alt mill. So we are very, very, very excited. Hopefully you are too. Guys, we're also working on the CO2 laser. I have some really exciting news. I ran our first project on our prototype CO2 laser. So I'm very excited. Next week, I'm just gonna be running more projects and we will be filming a development update so that we can show you guys where we're at with it. And then we'll be starting, we'll be kind of putting our heads together one last time to come up with the final pre-production kind of form factor, and then we'll go into that like heavy design testing in terms of a design that we take what we learn from this, we take what you guys want, and we take what all the ideas from our engineers, and we kind of form that into the best. So right now I'm testing a 50-watt tube, but actually we're going to be running a 90-watt tube, and with the we tell like the rated max should be 75 watts, but it's a 90-watt max tube, but you'll never run it above 75. So it's essentially we're gonna be doing a 75-watt CO2 laser. It's gonna be 36 inches by 24-inch bed size. That is what our prototype right now is running a 50-watt tube, but we made it to encapsulate, and we already ordered the 90-watt tube. So we're just or the 75-watt rated tube. So we're just using the 50-watt to test everything. And if we're gonna blow a laser tube, I'd rather blow the cheaper 50-watt rather than prototyping, getting everything ready, and then blowing a 90-watt or 75-watt. So we're just, once we feel comfortable in the prototype, then we'll swap out the 50-watt for the actual 75-watt that we want to actually go to production with, and we'll do some testing with that. So stay tuned. We will be filming a development update video next week, and my goal is to have pre-orders open up in July. So keep an eye out for that. I will keep you guys updated. Let's get back to the project. So we just installed a G7 lens. We have our leather right here. I'm going to put this in the machine so we can, and then we're gonna start designing, okay? Does that sound like a plan, guys? So let's get this in here. And I'm actually just gonna use these scrap materials to kind of hold this thing down. Yeah. Just like that. Just need a little bit of weight just to keep this thing flat because it wants to curl because it is a bracelet. So that was the form factor. And then I'm gonna raise my height. I'm gonna raise my height by 2 millimeters because that bracelet is 5 millimeters and it was focused to the to the material that was 3 millimeters off our waistboard. So the difference between that is 2 mils. It's now 2 mil higher, our material. So now I'm gonna move our Z 2 millimeters higher. So 1, 2, and I'm gonna zero everything there. So I know we're still in focus. And now let's go back to light burn. And what do we actually want to laser? I was excited to do all this, but I don't actually know. I didn't actually think about what I wanted to laser here. So let's make a framing. Let's make a framing box so we know how big we have to work with here, how much material we have to work with. So I know our height is about 10 mil. So I'll do 10 mil. And then our length is about, we have 150 mil, but I don't think I'm gonna do that much. I'm gonna do, let's say 10 mil by 50 mil. Let's do 50 mil, because then we can kind of use this one as a practice run. And if we need to, we'll have 3 tries. So we'll have about 3 tries with this. Oh, alt mill bracelet. Okay, let's do it. Let me see if I can find the logo. Oh my God. I really hope I can find the logo right now. Guys, if there's anybody from the CNC Labs marketing department, can you please send me the logo on Discord? If anybody's listening, let me check the alt mill. We might have it somewhere in our Discord. I might be able to download it right now, and then we can do a little alt mill logo. Someone must have requested. I feel like I remember somebody requesting it. Ba, 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 ba. Logo. Can I find the logo somewhere here? Let me search. Ah, perfect. Logo files. No. Okay, wait, wrong email address. Okay, access denied. Come on. We are in. Guys, we made it. We made it. Let's grab the alt mill. Can we import AI files? That's the real question. We're going to find out today. All right. Worst case, I'll have to do some conversion, but that's all right. That's not too bad. Huh. Yeah, worst case, I'll do some converting here, but I just want to see. I've never tried it. So let's give it a try. Import AI file. Hey, we got it. So you can import AI files. We will lock the dimensions, and then we'll shrink this. We want the height to be, let's say 8 millimeters. And then let's put our box. Let's unlock the height, and let's make that what we have working with this. So it's 10 by 50, and then put that at 0, 0 on our grid. And then let's take the alt mill logo. Oh, let's go back. Let's group this so we don't do that again. So let's select all and then group that. Then let's put this at 0, 0. And then I'm actually just going to go up by 1 millimeter. Actually, I'll do this, and then I'll put that at 5, which is the midway. So now I have room at the bottom and the top. It's halfway through here, and then this will be a fill. And I don't know what settings are going to work on this leather, so we are finding out together. Let's do our trusty 1 inch or 25 millimeters per second at 100% power, and we'll kind of go from there. If it starts pluming smoke, I'll pause it and I'll reduce the, or I'll raise the power, I'll raise the speed and lower the power simultaneously, or maybe we can do it in the override settings in G-Sender. So this is nice and simple, right? I kind of want to go for midway through, because then if it works, then this would be dope, right? But if it doesn't, then maybe I could just do like a couple, and then I can like give it to Andy or what's it called, Daniel, or engineer, because they were the leads on this project. So, you know, It'll be something cool to give them. So now I don't want to screw it up, but that's the name of the game of this live stream, is screwing stuff up. Sometimes we go first try Friday, sometimes we don't. So this is super simple. We had a logo. It was an AI file. We imported it in Lightburn. We sized it correctly. We used T1 or T2, this orange and this teal color, which lets you use that color to make stuff, but we know it actually won't come out in our design. And we can like remove the framing, and we can even get rid of this, it's showing. But we know it's not actually going to engrave or anything. We don't need to add a power level. We just use it as our workspace kind of builder. And then we were able to size everything. We made sure our logo was a fill. We chose a size, and that's about it. We're not really going to be cutting leather, so it's really only engraving. So let's get after it. Let's save the G code here. Alt mill leather version 1. And I'm going to copy this name because I know we're going to screw up and have to end up doing a version 2. This is a fill. I want it to be a fill, not an outline. Maybe did I say outline? I meant fill if I said outline. We are going to be doing a fill. I just always feel like outlines have their place, but most of the time when I'm doing text, I kind of want it to fill. So let's import that NC file that we just saved, alt mill leather v1. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, our 0 point's a bit weird. Let's see what we want to do. Lightburn. User origin. Let's try current position. Let's override our file. Same name. Replace it. Let's go back. See if we can get our origin to the right place. That's more like it. All right. So, how are we going to align this? That's the real question. So obviously I'm going to do low power. So I'm going to move it so that I'm hovering over my waste material, the material that's holding down my bracelet off to the side. Let me see, make sure you guys can see that. So I'm going to move it to the side so it's over that material. I'm going to turn it on, and then I'm going to try to get it pretty close. So I think I'm pretty aligned there. Yeah, and then I think I'm going to lower this to like 1 mil, so we're making very fine adjustments. Oh, so we just burned it, so we're 1 mil off on the Y. All right, so that feels pretty good. So if I move it 1 mil up, we are pretty much in alignment. So I'm going to do 1 mil, and then 2 mil, and I'm going to zero it all. And we should be all right. All right, so guys, again, leather does smell really bad. Make sure you're only engraving genuine leather. You want to know what's in the leather because you don't really want to engrave certain chemicals that they might have treated the leather with, or in fake leather, you don't want to engrave certain chemicals that could create toxic smoke. Always know what you're engraving, guys. Don't just engrave stuff willy-nilly. You want kind of pure, genuine material, because usually it's only made of the one thing that they're saying it's made out of, right? You don't want to be engraving random chemicals and stuff like that. You just don't know what the reaction of the laser and those chemicals is going to produce. Guys, if you engrave vinyl, you're going to create mustard gas pretty much, or PVC, ABS, all that stuff is going to create toxic gas. So just be aware, be cognizant of what you're engraving. All right. Let's see what these settings are going to do on our laser or on our leather. I'm excited. I'm kind of very curious. I haven't engraved leather in a very long time, so like Doug says, finger crossed. Before I run this project, go hit the like button, okay? Thank you very much. Or go buy an alt mill, or go buy a LaserBeam. One of the three, you pick, okay? Buy an alt mill, okay? Buy a LaserBeam, or like this stream. Hit the like button. Okay, we're gonna run it. All right, let's do this. Oh wow, it really took. That is very, very, very dark. Yeah, I feel like I could have ran this a lot faster because it is very dark. But I feel like I have to commit. Yeah, this did not come out very well. It's all smudged. It's all smudged. I'm gonna let it finish. I think I should run this at a way lower speed because I don't really want to raise the power. Sorry, I don't really want to raise the speed. So I'm just going to run this at a significantly lower power setting. So while this is finishing up, I'm going to head over here. So we added at 100%. Judging by how, like, I don't think it's going to take much to mark up this material at all. So let's go 25%. Let's see what I'd rather do 20%, and if I want to, I can run it twice. So let's save that. Let's save that as V2. Let's open up our G sender again. And guys, just to reiterate, I am using the SLB. I have been using the SLB for the past couple months on our live stream, and as you can see, I've never run into any connectivity issues, and I'm pretty sure with the new firmware, Chris tuned the SLB to go a lot faster, so you can actually run your laser faster on the actual long mill just with the upgrade of the SLB. We had boards arrive this week, and we're still waiting on a few items, but we are testing these boards that arrive, production boards for the SLB, and as things arrive, we will be hopefully shipping some boards out next week, so stay tuned. So yeah, it kind of looks like just like messy crayon. Oh wow, it does look better than I thought it was gonna look. I thought it was gonna look all smudged, but it actually, only the edges really look smudged. Dana says, no glasses needed. No, because I have the same material that my glasses are made out of, I put as the screen of my enclosure. So this screen is actually made out of the same quality of acrylic and thickness of acrylic that the glasses are actually made out of. So it's protecting me from the blue light. So obviously if I open it up, I don't really want to run it while I'm opening it up. While it's open, I can change things, but while it's running, I want to keep the thing closed because now this acrylic is the right color to block all the wavelengths, just like my safety glasses, and the right thickness to block all the light that's coming from it. So I'm actually just going to adjust the bracelet just a little bit. And then I'm going to move it. So my entire file was 50 millimeters. So I'm going to move it by 55. And I'm going to move the X so that now I'm on the end of my alt mill. And then I'm going to zero it all. And okay, so it didn't come out that bad. So this time I'm actually going to, let's run it at, I did put it at 20%, but now seeing it, it actually didn't look as bad as I thought. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna say let's run it at 50 instead of 20. Let's run it at 50, and then we can run a third version at 25, and then we'll see 100, 50, and 25 how they all look on leather. And I think that should just take us to just about the end of our stream. I don't think this one's going to be a long one. I think this one was pretty simple, but I am excited to show you how it came out because I do think engraving leather is one of those things that's like super simple to do. Like leather always engraves super easily, but it also I think is one of those rare things that gives a product or a gift or something like that a special touch, because leather is already kind of a little bit unique, but engraved leather is probably super unique in terms of like DIY making stuff, gift making, all that stuff. So I'm zeroed out. I'm 50 millimeters across, so I'm not gonna run into my last project. I should be all good. I cut the power in half, left the speed the same, so we should be all good. Let's run it again, and then we'll see what, this is 50% power, so we'll see what 50% looks like, and then we'll see what 25% looks like after this. So let's go ahead and let that run. Ooh. So we might have started it a little bit too low. It might just go past the top of our bracelet. So this is when like aligning stuff is very useful, but you know me, I'm just freestyling it. So the top end of my logo might go off my bracelet, but still looks good nonetheless. So 50% also engraves really dark, but I feel like the edges are a little bit cleaner. So on our last one, we are gonna go to, we can go 25% or we can go lower. What do you guys think? 25% or like 18%? Because the leather seems to just want to burn, you know? It just wants to burn. So even at 50%, it's super dark, and we're getting cleaner edges, but I have a feeling even at 20%, it might not look that different than the 50% one, just because it wants to absorb the heat. So what should we do? Mm-mm-mm. 25, just to keep continuity, 25. If it does nothing, then when I do, I won't be engraving these on stream, but when I do end up engraving them, I'm curious to see how they will engrave. Like I think this will probably turn up a little gray. Like I think when you engrave black, it kind of comes out a little gray, the actual engraving, and I don't know how this burgundy-ish color will come out. So I'm very curious, but this super tan stuff came out very cool, so let's do 25%. Let's save that as V3. Ooh, I can smell the leather. It's not a fun smell. So I'm gonna give it a second to let my exhaust system do its thing. And then I have to move this down. Let's resettle this. All right, so I'm gonna refocus it or reset my zero just because I moved it. All right, I'm gonna move it, oh fuck. I have to lower this. Let's do one. I'm gonna move this down so I can hit my waste material first and then get it real close. I'm gonna get it real close. So I'm gonna turn this off and I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. And then I'm gonna zero it all. I'm going to, yeah, I got version 3, which is 25% power. And then let's give this a run. Oh, that was very good alignment. I think that was really good. Still, it burns really well. They all look like, except like the edges of the first one, they all look like they were ran almost with the exact same power setting. So that's just something to keep in mind with your leather. And of course the color and the quality is gonna change how your engraving comes out. So with this, both 100% power at 25 millimeters per second, both 50% power and 25% power, all looked about the same, except 100% left muddier edges. So the edges for 100% power weren't as clean. So just keep that in mind if you're ever engraving leather. Run some tests to see how it's going to come out. Run your tests at different power settings to see what type of finish you want from the leather. It does look really, really cool, I'm not going to lie. Guys, this is going to be a pretty short stream. We're about 47 minutes in, 48 minutes in. After this job, I'll answer some questions. I'll show you guys the finished result, and then we will get out of here. All right? All right. We are just about done. I'm very excited to take a look. Guys, if you guys have any more questions, we will be ending the stream pretty soon. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, put them in the chat right now. As soon as this is done, I'm going to let the exhaust system do its thing because I don't want to open it up and let all this gross air out, all this particulate from the leather. It does not smell great. So I'm going to let it exhaust for a little. Barry asked, do I have an update on the magnetic mount? Almost time for your co-op student to go back to school. Yes. Oh yes, happy Easter to everybody. If you guys are celebrating Easter this weekend, happy Easter. I know not everybody does, but if you are, happy Easter. Update on the magnetic mount. Let me see if I can pull up some. Yes. Nicholas, that is right. If you touch the burn area, you will get like the ash on your finger and it could smudge. So I'm going to be very careful to stay away from that. There's probably something you can do to seal it or clean it to make sure that that's not a recurring thing. You can probably seal it with some like leather or some leather sealer or something like that to make sure. You can probably clean it with some alcohol, or maybe that actually will dry out. So guys, do some Googling on how you want to finish your leather, because I have no clue how to actually finish this thing. But I'm sure if I Googled, how to actually finish it, there's a way I can clean it without ruining the leather and then finish it so that it's nice and easy. Let me give you guys an update on the magnetic mount. We have some pictures. So our co-op student has been working on the magnetic mount, Abeku. He will be going home, or he will be going back to school at the end of April. So he's started doing the resources for our long mill magnetic mount, because the long mill undergoes less force and less speed than the alt mill. Our current design currently works. So right now we're ordering samples from manufacturers, and once that comes, we're pretty comfortable to release a long mill version. We just don't know if we want to release a long mill version at the same time as an alt mill version, but because the alt mill can run almost 4 times as fast as the long mill, we have to either upgrade the magnets or upgrade the amount of magnets, and we don't know if we want to make that the standard. Like, let's say like 2 magnets in our mounting system works right now for the long mill at speeds, but for the alt mill we might need up to 4, and we don't know if we want to just make 4 the stock, like you use that on your long mill or your alt mill, or we just sell 2. We can release the long mill one right now, 2, and then when the alt mill releases, we'll release an alt mill once with 4 magnets. We don't know what we want to do yet, so I'm going to make that decision very, very soon. But one second, I can pull up some pictures. I can pull up some pictures of the prototype that Ikenna has been testing with. So this is a very simple design that I thought of like a while ago, and Ikenna kind of brought it to life and has been testing it with some dust shoe magnets and some studs and a 3D printed bracket. Hold up, let me see if I can drag it over here. Let me see if I can. Okay, so this is what it's looking like right now. So essentially, you have a threaded stud. You have a threaded stud here that goes through the magnet. You have this 3D printed bracket. It probably will be a steel bracket because we want it to magnetize and add to the magnetic force, or it'll create a more stable magnetic pull. So this threads to your original mount, and these studs are just about the size of your laser mount holes, and it has enough force where we ran it in comparison to the regular mounts, and you don't run into any issues even at full speed when testing engravings, lettering, all that stuff. And if you tilt the laser, then it's very easy to disengage the magnet and pull it off. So the thing is, with the alt mill, because it runs faster, we have to add more magnets and make the mount a bit bigger. So we might just sell 2 separate ones. So this mount is pretty much ready to release. We ordered some sample magnets from our magnet supplier. So we're waiting for those to arrive. And then once that arrives, we'll probably have our metal manufacturer create custom studs, custom M5 threaded studs here, because they don't need to be this long. It was only this length because this is what we could get from McMaster Car, but we can get some custom made. And yeah, so he's working on the resources right now. We'll do the supply chain, so they'll probably get released sometime in May, so he might not be around for the release, but he'll make sure that the product page is ready to go, and the resources are ready to go, and then we'll just be waiting on parts to arrive, and then as soon as parts arrive, we'll put it up for sale and release it. So I'm very proud of him. He's been working very hard on this. He's been running a lot of deflection tests and pull magnet strength tests and all that fun stuff, learning how to be a real engineer, and getting this product out. So he's been putting in a lot of work. Very proud of him. Very proud to get this thing out. This product wasn't rocket science, but it just needed to get done. So I'm very happy that he was able to take this project and kind of do something with it. So let's grab our leather bracelet here. All right. Oh, you can see how, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. That's really beautiful. Guys, look at this. Look how clean that looks. Let me focus it. Guys, look how clean that looks. You can see the edge of this one was a lot, like it almost looks smudged. And then it gets, oh, sorry, it's this one. This one was 100% power. You can see the edges don't look as good. Then you have 50% power. You see it cleaned up the edges real nice. And then 25% power. So you can see the darkness came out the same on all of them, but the edges are so much cleaner here. Like, look at that. So guys, looks cool. Leather is super easy to engrave. Try this at home. Use only genuine leather. Don't die because you engrave some weird chemical in some fake leather. The stuff looks really cool. I'm glad I did it. It looks awesome. If you want to alt mill, go to cnclabs.com/product/alt mill. Go pre-order that. This is pretty cool. I'm excited. You have three options here, okay? Either go order an alt mill. It's $4,000 Canadian. Very cheap for what you're actually getting. I promise you that. Look into all our competitors and you will come back and you'll realize how much you're getting for that price is amazing. So you have three options. First option, order a alt mill for $4,000 Canadian, order a LaserBeam for $460 Canadian, or like this stream, like this post, and I will see you in 2 weeks on the next LaserBeam Live. You know the deal. My name is Ikenna Ofoha for CNC Labs, and whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or night, I appreciate you spending just a little bit of your time with me. If you joined us live, I appreciate you. If you're watching this back, I appreciate you. Nicholas, thank you for joining. Doug, thank you for joining. Dana, thank you for joining. Hans, thank you so much for joining. Barry, thank you for joining us. Jack in the Shop, Laser Demon, thank you for joining us. Doug, thanks for reminding everybody. Go like the stream. Thanks for the reminder, Doug. Appreciate you. Who else was here? Bud, thank you for joining. Larry, thank you for joining us. Michael Build, thank you for joining us. His YouTube channel actually looks really cool. He does a bunch of crafts, a bunch of projects, a bunch of concrete stuff. He looks like the concrete demon. He makes everything out of concrete. Go check out Michael Build's channel. Thank you for joining us tonight. Marcel, thank you for joining. I think that's just about it. Did I miss anybody? I hope not. It has been an absolute pleasure. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's stream. I will see you guys in 2 weeks for LaserBeam Live number 43. And I think we're actually going to be engraving a tote bag. So we're going to do another kind of fabric-y thing. So engraving a tote bag. I don't actually know how it's going to come out or if it's going to be great, but I'm down to try. I'm down to mess up, and I'm down to stream it all to you guys so you guys can see me mess up and hopefully, or see me succeed. So guys, go check out the alt mill. We're very excited for that. CO2 laser coming soon. SLBs are shipping very soon. It's a very exciting year for product development at CNC Labs. It has been a great time. I have been your host for LaserBeam Live, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.